Exercise 7 continues your reinforcement of notes on the first two strings in first position. We are in 4/4 time signature. We have quarter notes, eighth notes, half notes, and quarter rest. And then we have a pretty good dose of accidentals in here. So you want to make sure that you review your rules on accidentals before entering this piece. And with that being said, we're going to begin our 9 points. And the first being the term first position. So we are playing notes on the first and second strings in first position. So you want to perform a hold technique. Since our first note is a C, which is played on the B string, you want to perform a hold technique over the B string to get you started. And that's going to help you to keep your eyes on the music and off your guitar. Point number 3, use alternate picking. If you're a flat picker, make sure that you alternate your down and up strokes. And if you're a classical guitarist, to alternate your free and rest strokes using your index and middle fingers. Now this piece does provide some challenges because we are going to be doing lots of string crossings. In other words, you're going to be alternating notes between both strings quite often. And I wanted to look at a couple of things in here that might help you with your alternation. Now if you're a flat picker, I don't see a problem with alternating through the entire piece. It's just you have to be accurate when you get to these string crossings right here. There's going to be a lot of it, so go slow. But if you are a classical guitarist or a flamenco player, when you get to this section right here, I would recommend using your index on the B string and your middle finger on the E string. So you have your B string, E string, B string, E string, B string, E string, B string, E string. So it's an alternating thing. You'll find that using your index here and middle here and sustaining that is much easier than going the opposite way. It's just the way your hand is built. Point number 4, establishing the rhythm. And we're going to do that by counting the rhythms on the page with our voice as we tap counts 1, 2, 3, 4 with our pencil. We are in 4/4 time signature, and that tells us that each of these measures get 4 counts. If we do the math, it adds up. Let's take this measure for example here. These are eighth notes, and so 2 eighth notes give us 1 count. So all this is 1 count, all of this is 1 count. This is a count with a quarter note, and a quarter rest gets a count. If you add them up, it equals this top number. Don't forget about the syllables on the eighth notes. When you get to the quarter rest, you have a choice of saying the word rest or remaining silent for that count. And then when you get to these half notes here, you can say the count and remain silent on the following count. I will count with you at 50 beats per minute on the metronome from start to finish. I'll give a 4 count and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3. Point number 5, note identification. So you can put away your guitar and your metronome and focus on just identifying the notes. And what you can do is just pick a note and say it. So you can just say D sharp, G, D sharp, C, just like that. We have quite a few accidentals in this piece, so you want to review your rules for accidentals. So I'm going to go over a few of these with you just to make sure that you're up to date on that. If we look at measure 3, we have an accidental on the and of 1, and that's a D sharp. And then on the and of 2, we cancel that sharp with a natural symbol. That's rule number 3. If it were not for this natural, it would have remained a sharp because of rule number 1. And then when we get to count 3, we reinstate the sharp with that symbol. So we raise that D by a half step with the sharp. And then it happens again on count 4. We cancel this sharp, rule number 3, with a natural symbol. When you get to the end of this measure, none of these accidentals matter. We start all over. And so none of the sharps from this measure will influence anything in this measure. Point number 6. I want you to say the notes on the page in rhythm without the guitar. And so what you're going to do is you're going to say the notes as you tap your pencil to counts 1, 2, 3, 4 in rhythm. Make sure you go slow enough so that you can articulate the notes clearly, especially on these eighth notes with sharp symbols. So that's 2 syllables you have to say in a very short amount of time. So you want to go slow enough so you can do that. When you get to the rest, you can say the word rest or remain silent for that count. And when you get to the half note, you can either sing that half note for its 2 counts or do what I'm going to do. I'm just going to say the note name and tap my pencil to count 2 and remain silent on count 2. I've decided to change it down to 40 beats per minute because it's hard to say those notes fast. So if it's too fast for you, you can slow it down on your media player and keep up with me. I will give a 4 count and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, B, C, D, D sharp, D, D sharp, F, G, D sharp, G, G, D sharp, F, D, D sharp, C, D, B, C, B, C, B, C, C, G, D, G, D sharp, G, D, G, F, G, D sharp, G, D, G, C, G, B, G sharp, G, G sharp, B, F, D, B, B, C. Point number 7. You're going to say and play the notes at the same time with your guitar. So your main goal is note identification as you play the notes. So at first, turn off your metronome, pick a note, say the note, and then play the note. And then when you get better at that, slow it down. I would recommend 40 or under. And you might even have to turn off the metronome or slow down the player if you want to play along with me. Because saying these notes fast with these accidentals is a pretty good challenge. When you get to the rest, you can say the word rest or remain silent for that count. And then when you get to these half notes, you can either sing the note for 2 counts, or what I'm going to do is just say the note name, and then I won't say anything on the following count, and just allow the note to ring for those 2 counts. Now here's some tricks that are going to help you with your reading, and I usually include these in the 9th point on the videos. But I want to go ahead and fast forward because I think you're going to find that using trends and patterns will help you to read faster. And so if you look here, we can see a trend, and that is ascending notes. So B, C, D. And that right there will help your reading, and your mind already knows the alphabet. So you don't have to waste time decoding these notes when you see them ascending like that. Another trend I see is the static note G. Goes all the way from measure 5 to measure 7. So every other note is a G. It's on the and beat. So you can focus your reading on the moving melody underneath. That's going to help your reading. You don't need to waste time looking up this note. It's the same thing on the and beats. So that'll get you from measure 5 to 7. So I'm always looking for trends like that to help your reading. When you see a number like 2 next to the note head, it's referring to my second finger. Now normally you would use your third finger on this D, but that third finger is already occupied on the G. I want you to keep your third finger anchored on all these G's. And so that's only going to leave your second finger for the D. So you use your first finger on the C, second finger on the D, and then your fourth finger is available for the D sharp. And I think that works the best way. Watch how I play the video. You'll see how that works. In measure 5, I'm going to use my second finger on the D note, which is the 3rd fret on string B. And the reason for that is that it allows me to connect the notes. Watch this. C, G, D, G, D sharp, G, D, G. Normally we would use our 3rd finger on this 3rd fret, but it's already being occupied on the 3rd fret on the 1st E string with that G note. So what I do is I just leave my 3rd finger anchored on the G, And then that frees up finger 1, 2, and 4 to do the work underneath on the B string, allowing me to connect the notes like this. Otherwise, you get this sound. So although you can play it that way, it's just easier, I think, to keep the third finger anchored and then use the available fingers 1, 2, and 4 to play the notes on the B string. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, B, C, D, D sharp, D, D sharp, F, G, D sharp, G, G, D sharp, F, D, D sharp, C, D, B, C, B, C, B, C, C, G, D, G, D sharp, G, D, G, F, G, D sharp, G, D, G, C, G, B, G sharp, G, G sharp, B, F, D, B, B, C. Point number 8, and that's counting the notes as you play them on the guitar. So you're going to say the counts 1, 2, 3, 4 as you identify the notes in rhythm. Don't forget about the and syllables on the eighth notes. When you get to the quarter rest, you will still say count 4. When you stop the note from playing, you are showing that you understand what a quarter rest does. And when you get down to these half notes, you will still say count 1, 2, 3, 4 as you play the half notes for their duration. The fact that you're allowing this note to ring for 2 counts shows that you understand what a half note does. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Point number 9, training your eyes to look ahead of the note that you're playing. So make sure that you go slow enough so that you can see ahead of what you're doing. Expert sight readers can see several notes ahead of what they're playing. Now we talked about the ascending line happening here. That helps your reading. And then we also talked about repeated notes like this. We don't have to waste our time on those and beats because they're all G's. You can focus your attention on the moving line. It's already in your memory bank that every other note from measure 5 to measure 7 will be a G. That helps your reading.